Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Just Roll It Already. I am your host, Daryl.
I am your other host, Jeremiah.
Also guest host, Michael.
And I'm a guest host, John.
Okay, welcome to the Let's Look At. We look at RPG topics and products. Today, what we're looking at is Shadows of Esteren, done by Agate Studios, and I'm going to give a little bit of description about the setting. Now, Shadows of Esteren is a Celtic mythology-based RPG on the peninsula of Tricazel, which translates in the story Three Kingdoms. There's a bunch of factions, there's a lot of mystery and intrigue, as well as a mythos theme in the background. So, we're going to be looking at the impressions of each host and guest host to see what they thought about it. So, first up is Jeremiah.
First off, the artwork in the book, phenomenal. Like, really, the people at Agate Studios, they have some really keen people over there. My God, wow! Like, I'm very impressed. That's the first thing about this book. I would say, I would buy it alone off the artwork just to use as references for when I want to draw. That's like the very first thing about this book I am saying is buy it for the purpose of the art. Down to like the creatures, people, the landscapes. It's a nice, gooey, delicious Gothic Tim Burton-y kind of stuff that I crave. And
I see it more in the lines of kind of a dark theme, not like a Tim Burton-y thing.
Well, it's not cartoony like Tim Burton, no, but the more gray, dim world.
It's a gritty kind of game.
Yeah.
This is not a happy fantasy elves are everywhere game. No, this game, there's some serious crap going on.
Definitely like World of Darkness.
Yeah.
Think old school mythology. There's no like tooth fairies. They eat you. Like they take all the They take all the. My mama said I could have all the teeth. What? Yeah, that's what's happening here. And actually, in the system is a cut in half D20. It goes off a D10, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost a combination of D&D and World of Darkness. Actually, it's quite interesting. I think John would you have any input on that?
Oh yeah, it definitely seems to be World of Darkness, even from the setting aspect of it. The the cut down of the dice. I reason that the people at Agate Studios actually perceive the numbers in a different way because it makes for a more heroic aspect. Because if you're focusing on small variables to a die roll, as opposed to you roll a d20, it's out of 20. In this, it's out of 10, and you're adding maybe 1, 2, or 3. And now 1, 2, or 3 on a d20 is very insignificant. So from a rules lawyer and a notorious rules lawyer aspect, it actually makes it more heroic in that sort of sense. Other than that, finding out that it runs off a D10 from just picking up the book, kind of stressful situation. I go to the game system and it doesn't automatically in the system first page doesn't tell me what it runs off.
Yeah, what was Mike saying there? Yeah.
What I was looking at with the book is that it's very well pieced together. As Jeremiah had already mentioned, the artwork is really well put together.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There is just a huge amount of information within just the core book itself.
Yeah, about 2/3 of the book is setting and information.
You get a lot of history, and that's very important to a lot of the role play.
To immersion.
Yeah. I have read the history of it, and I have to say, for anybody who, even if you don't like the system, the setting alone is wonderful, beautiful, and very in-depth. It makes it feel like you're actually being told about this world rather than reading an appendix or a kind of an atlas about it, because this is, let's just say, it feels like everything is in character. Every single description, every single thing. There's one part describing places of note as if an uncle was writing. In the thing of it, the uncle was writing to his nephew who is sickly, who's not ever going to be able to see it. So he describes it as if he's trying to paint a picture for his nephew. Okay, that's how in character can get.
I mean, as I was looking at it, the table of contents for the book, it actually reads out and looks more like an index. That's how much information is in this one book.
Oh, there's tons of it. And this is just book one. This book was originally printed in French. And there's more.
Is there other source books besides this?
Nothing currently out. I've been looking into it more, and I love it. It's just, I have yet to run it.
So there's currently just a core rulebook, basically.
Only in English.
Yeah, but, I see. Only in English. So for you French philosophers out there, there is a lot more source material, perhaps.
This is it's originally, Agate Studios is a French company?
Yes, there was a Kickstarter last year that I was not a part of, but I bought the book after it came out because I missed it. and it turned out extremely well. I loved it.
I can't really think off the top of my head another setting that is similar to this, in the sense of we don't have very many like Gaelic, Celtic settings or.
Oh no. I mean, they even talk about Druidism really extensively in this book.
Yeah, I think the only thing that comes even close is maybe Werewolf of the Apocalypse. But then it doesn't even cover it as close.
No, A Werewolf of the Apocalypse is nothing like this. I read that book, and this one, Shadows of Esteren, way more in depth.
Well, I know
way
it's
more
I know it's more in depth.
The,
It's
the
like
clan, the Fiona, the Irish werewolves.
Yeah.
Fiona, I believe. Yeah. I mean but that's the only thing that would even come.
Well, werewolves themselves are like it's pushed forth as like a native druidic.
Yeah. And even if you go into like D&D and the Beastries, there's only a couple things that would be from.
Like there's nothing that goes into this sort of setting this deep.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And considering it's a relatively thin book compared to most setting books I've read.
You know, it's funny. You think such a untapped like mythology base hasn't been, tapped into yet. It's odd, really. It's
well.
to
counter that, I would say that most of our D&D that we know of is nothing like Shadow of Esteren because it focuses on a more Arthurian legend. So it's more of the singular hero uniting a people versus like the darker setting.
You are no more wrong than possible, John.
What are you talking about? No more wrong.
Okay, no, Arthurian created this. Arthurian, whatever. That kind of legends do not come from D&D kind. No, D&D style of RPG sort of sword and sorcery games.
It's a mishmash. It
It's
takes
a
a bunch
mishmash.
of mythologies and mushes them.
It is a mishmash, but it's based on Tolkien.
Yeah.
Okay, it's very Tolkien-like.
Hobbit, the halflings,
Even
Hobbit.
then, I'd almost attest that I know it's not as old, but you'd almost think that Tolkien is, and when he writes The Hobbit, is actually just writing down his D&D D&D campaign.
There's going to be some hate mail flaming towards you.
He was running a D&D campaign.
And then the DM says, "I rolled a 20 on my encounter roll, so here's a Balrog."
Yeah, and when Gandalf then said, "Run, roll your athletics," like that's.
It's like then I soften earth and stone, and I collapse it, and we all fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I kill the Balrog, get epic level party loot, and I say, "John, you suck. Take your wizard and die."
Yeah.
That's yeah. See, it's totally a legit Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Anyways,
Back to total rip
Shadows
off.
of
But
Esteren.
come on,
Shadows of
okay,
Esteren.
we really got off track.
Shadows of Esteren.
I mean, if there's one thing we can all agree on, there's a lot of fun to be had with Shadows of Esteren.
Oh yes, I really want to sink my teeth into this game.
Classless system.
It is
Yeah.
classless.
Oh yes, there's archetypes. Yes.
Yeah, it's mainly like that. You mean you can be a druid, you can be a
monk, a friar,
monk or friar kind of thing. Yeah,
soldier,
So
highwayman.
it feels almost like it's an Elder Scrolls game, but in pen and paper. Very. It's free-form character build.
Yes, it is a freeform character build, but also on top of that, it's a very complex balancing system against various factions, because factions are a big thing in this game.
Think of a World of Darkness, but instead of you don't pick a clan of vampire, but you do pick your disciplines. Like you're not restricted to your clan's disciplines. You just have an overarching bunch of disciplines, and you're just a human. Or actually, is there races in this? Or
no, everything's human. There is no fairies. There's no elves. There's no dwarves.
I can't roll a dwarf. Okay, I roll human, and then yeah. But it's sort of like if you took the disciplines in World of Darkness and the skills in World of Darkness, and you use the a couple dots that disciplines have, and put them in the skills. That's kind of how it's odd, but it works. I can definitely see.
It's because the D10 rolls they're smaller. If your DCs are smaller,
it's more simple.
There's more sway to it, so you don't need as many dots. You don't need as much adjustment.
No, this is a very small, simple system.
Yep.
Okay. It doesn't require much of a learning curve because I already understand how the game mechanics work. There's a few complex things like insanity mechanic.
I saw that, and I
Yes,
liked that.
yes. There's an insanity mechanic. There's also a magic mechanic to a degree and extent because it's a little weird to describe, but all I can say is that it's very unique.
Actually, and also just like World of Darkness, merits and flaws. Oh, yes, I love flaws. There's nothing more that I like on a character than making him like a midget or a child or blind or deaf. Or I love flaws.
Or maybe a crippled midget child that's blind and deaf.
Yes,
I mean,
love
it adds
flaws.
to your detail, for your character.
It does.
Throw in with your background if you want to go with one.
You'd be an invalid baby if you really wanted to.
Yes, give me leprosy. I love. I love a gimped character.
Yes, Jeremiah. Your flesh rotting off of your face is perfect for this campaign.
Yes, I'm in Nosferatu. Yes, I love the gems. It's what makes a character great. It also deters min-maxing. I think people should abide and take a flaw just so they won't min-max. It also adds flavor.
So you're saying that awesome warrior type character doesn't want to necessarily be around you because you're falling apart, and he could also be?
Yeah.
So how is the lethality in this? I'm looking
the,
through it. And
the lethality of it seems to be a medium high, if I'm going to put it on a stove level, because I mean there's the low lethality, which is like Pathfinder D&D style.
Yeah.
It's not brutal like World of Darkness.
I was going to say the health system kind of reminds me of World of Darkness.
But it's unforgiving, but it's fair
Because it doesn't reward stupidity.
No, you can really have a very easy time dying, but you're more likely to go insane before you die.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It
because-
doesn't reward stupidity because there's some games that are like, oh, I'm going to be a total,
Derp.
complete idiot, and I'm just
Yeah,
going to run into a room, charging, and then you end up winning. Well, in this, it's like no, it's way more towards realism, but it's more, it's definitely more dramatic. It even says in the parts that I did get to, it's if it would ever impede the story, ignore the rules.
Yeah, and like you were saying before, with the lower numbers, it almost makes luck less likely to happen. Like the idiot who runs into the room, if he wins,
If he crit hunts,
it's a D20 system. There's more numbers. It might be because he was lucky. Now, when there's lower numbers, less chance for luck. More, I hope I have a high skill.
It's either you do or you don't.
Yeah. But now, closing thoughts on this system and game.
If I was to give it one word to describe it,
We'll do one word.
I would say ornate, based off the art. Yeah.
I'm going to go with detailed.
I'd say dramatic.
And I would say I want to do it.
Radical.
We need to get a Let's Play.
Yes.
We will probably try sometime for a Let's Play in the future. Not anytime soon, but eventually.
It's good. It would be it'd make a great one shot.
Okay.
Anyways. Yep.
I'm your host, Daryl.
I'm your other host, Jeremiah.
Guest host Michael.
And your other guest host, John.
And thanks for joining us. Have a good day.
And remember to visit or send us an email at justrollitalready@gmail.com and leave your comments below and any concerns you have. Let us know.
All right. Thank you.